Hello. Well, today this is a big question I want to, even before I begin. Has oral collapsed? Mimi Sebiwana. Has oral collapsed? I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. And as you know, on this program, what we do, we tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And as we say all the time, truth crashed to earth will rise again. And the truth is, has oral collapsed? If it has, will it rise again? And of course, let me not forget that the warning we put out all the time is that all gendarmes will be crushed, will be suffocated with the truth. And I say this before I ask my final question, what time is it? And the answer, you know it, man. You know it. You know it, man. It's nation time. It's nation time. Okay, folks. You know, I started with this question deliberately. Has oral collapsed? People are saying, oh, it started with Vim, but in Philly, night has collapsed. And one of the people who waded into this whole collapse issue is one of my sons, you know, somebody that I like his dynamism and I respect his views, but he has something to say regarding the collapse of oral. Take a listen.
Oral should just go and sleep somewhere. I don't want to talk about them. Everybody watching me, whether you're NDC or MPP, that's oral makes sense. And me, if I have government property, Ora can never take it out. Apart from the fact that I know some of the people in Ora and their relatives who own government land, me, I have everybody's, look, I have land documents like this. When they say they're going to start from 2016, I say, you guys are jokers. One day when I get angry, I'll release everybody's land document. It includes people in this government. They know. And they are now, they know that way they are 10. So I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. No. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it.
There goes my good son, APLUS. He says, oh, forget about everything. Ora has collapsed. Let me just stay on APLUS for just a quick second, please. Just a quick second. My point is this, and the truth that I believe is this, folks. Ora will never collapse. It may be the will of some people that it collapses. It may be the will of some people that it will lose their vim. But I'm telling you, folks, think about this. So it depends on you and I. You and I, those of you watching, those of you listening, we all Ghanaians can decide that such a lofty idea in terms of people who have looted from the state will never be allowed to go scot-free. And there are many decisions. Yeah, I know that there's a judiciary, and I know all of that. We'll come back to that later. But the whole aspect of the wheels of justice grand slowly, but I'm saying, depending on me and you, not just leaving it to some judiciary, depending on the will of the people. Our constitution starts by saying, we the people, even we elect the president because that is what we the people have chosen. So I'm saying this, folks. We the people are saying that Ora will never collapse. It won't collapse today, it won't collapse tomorrow. But let me go back. Thank you. But let me go back a little bit to APLUS, what he said. Listen to it again.
Ora should just go and sleep somewhere. I don't want to talk about them. Everybody watching me, whether you're NDC or MPP, that's Ora makes sense. And me, if I have government property, Ora can never take it out. Apart from the fact that I know some of the people in Ora and their relatives who own government land, me, I have everybody's, look, I have land documents like this. When they say they're going to start from 2016, I say, you guys are jokers. One day when I get angry, I'll release everybody's land document. It includes people in this government. They know. And they are now, they know that way they are 10. So I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. No. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it.
What I find quite interesting is this, that he asserts that he knows people in government. Definitely it means the NDC people who are in power now. Within a span of what? 1 year plus a few months, ever since taking power, APLUS says he knows people who have not only acquired lands illegally, but have built. Massa, this is a very, 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 very serious allegation because APLUS is talking about the loot. And the reason APLUS is saying the loot has collapsed is simply because it says that the NDC started the oral, we are going to recover all the loot. But they are in power now, and they are also a part of the loot. Did not say a collapse, no? No, follow me. The NDC started oral, Operation Recover All Loot. And they won power because of that. Now the NDC is in power. And APLUS is telling us that, oh, forget about this Operation Recover All the Loot. It has collapsed. Why? Because it says even the NDC people are now looting government lands and buildings. Hey. So based on this, then he has every right to assume that ORA has collapsed. I am saying ORA will never collapse. Do you know why? Because right now, APLUS, my son, you know me and you, it's like father and son. I like you and you like me. But my only challenge, APLUS, I beg you. Or say, one day when you get angry, you drop all the information. APLUS, I beg you. Don't wait for one day to get angry. I want you to drop it down. You see, that's why I started by saying that, has ORA collapsed? Because by the statement APLUS made, what he's implying is that even the NDC, after all the noise, once they took power, they've also got involved in the loot.
Apart from the fact that I know some of the people in ORA and their relatives who own government land, I have everybody's, look, I have land documents like this. When they say they're going to start from 2016, I say, you guys are jokers. One day when I get angry, I'll release everybody's land document. It includes people in this government. They know. And they know that with their 10. So I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about ORA again. ORA is collapsed. We have collapsed it.
It's not say a collapse, no? Because the one who championed the case that we're going to recover the loot, no? If APLUS is alleging that even they are now looting and they are collapsed. But the reason that I say that it will never collapse, let me give you the reason, APLUS. Because people like you are in the system. Let me explain why I say people like you are in the system, man. APLUS, I believe that you have dedication and commitment. I mean, you did the amazing thing standing as an independent and beating both known candidates from the MPP and NDC. You beat them all to win your constituency. Let me show you some love for that, APLUS. And even going further back, I remember when you started the People's Project, TP. It was like a powerful movement that just swept Ghana. And your agenda then was that it's not about party, it's about the parliament, and it's about the parliament doing the right thing. So I'm just saying this to let you know, APLUS, that I know you have vim, I know you have vigor, and I know that you are determined to do the right thing, and you are proved by winning as an independent candidate. My only disappointment at this point, APLUS, is that from your own lips, you see, ORA now collapse because NDC for EB. So from your own lips, it has collapsed. I'm not saying something you didn't say. Oh, this is from your own lips.
Nobody should talk about ORA again. ORA is collapsed. We have collapsed it.
But what I expected, the APLUS that I know, the APLUS that started with the People's Project, the APLUS that ran as an independent and kicked the butts of NDC and MPP, the APLUS that is so vehement is starting a free zones thing in Gomwa. That dynamic APLUS, I was expecting you to hear that people will do whatever they can. But once you are alive, you make sure that oral never collapses. That's what I was expecting to hear. Because that is what I'm counting on. People like you and I, people like many other people out there, some of whom are listening to me now, who are so disgusted with politicians coming and looting the country. We are so disgusted with it, man. It is such a level of disgust that many people are actually saying that the reason Mahama won so much was when we send the vim in him, that when he comes, he is going to take care of this.
We'll launch an Operation Recover All the Loot to investigate, prosecute, and recover the proceeds of corruption. To investigate, prosecute, and recover the proceeds of corruption. No person found culpable will be spared.
So basically what I'm saying is that we should not allow oral to collapse. Yeah, pray though. Whatever happens, I know so many things have been said. The Attorney General, yeah, dynamic enough, OSP, and Yoko, whatever. All these things are going on. But I'm saying regardless, folks, we will not allow oral to collapse. Whatever happens, I did a show one time and I said something that many people were laughing. I said, maybe I'll give it to the end of this year. It doesn't look like it's so far away. But let's watch by the end of this year what will happen in Ghana. Just for the facts, their campaign issue, no matter what. Musa, I don't know the strategy, I don't know anything, but I'm sitting here today and telling my audience, and I want to know witness, within 1 year, we'll be shocked. Oh yeah, something will happen. Something must happen, no. And to me, yes, so it's a come be rain, will be a dear. And I will say, me, we are 10 million, me, the 1 million, mamma, and Pliba gave me the amount to me. No.
But I don't know, so.
And never so. A two-way trap. When I'm catch you.
Oh, President Mahama administration.
To be tried within 1 year. Me did the mechanic. I won't say anymore. But no, basically, folks, you and I should not allow oral to collapse. Let's not turn a very important, significant thing into a political football. Say MPP members who are arrested and charged with the loot, and now, as APLUS is saying, NDC members are also getting into loot. So because NDC and MPP are doing it, a collapse. Never. I am here to tell you today that even if MPP, NDC, Huan, all get together to loot, let them loot. We the people. Let me tell you why that is so important and why that our constitution actually starts with we the people. It's because, look, they says in the government, there has 3 arms in the government. We have the executive, who is the president. We have the legislature, that is the parliament. And we have the judiciary. Those are the courts. They form the government. So it's the government on one side. And the government is acting, or supposed to be acting and representing the interest of we the people. Until we have the government there, but we the people are so significant. So all I'm saying is this, and I'm talking to all people in Ghana, no matter what, let's not allow oral to collapse. That's why I was telling my dear son that Charlie, that was my only disappointment that from him, it shouldn't have come from him. He is one person that should be a symbol of, will make sure that what is right is done and oral will never collapse. Oral and collapse you. So APLUS aside, there's another very important person in Ghana who has also signaled the collapse of oral. And interesting enough, they're all coming from the same sort of thinking. APLUS says oral has collapsed because NDC is involved in it. He says he has the evidence. And I'm praying to APLUS, please bring the evidence. So one day when you get angry, don't wait till you get angry, man. Right after this show, just KSM with the evidence number. And let whoever is a culprit face the law. After all, Jeremy himself said, the president himself said, that whoever goes against this law and is trapped by oral, whether MPP or NDC, the laws will work. Listen to what he said when he said that.
We will launch an operation recover all the loot to investigate, prosecute, and recover the proceeds of corruption. To investigate, prosecute, and recover the proceeds of corruption. No person found culpable will be spared. But let me say, that the sword of accountability will cut both ways, against both past and the present government.
So all I'm saying is, APLUS, don't wait to get angry before. The documents right now, send them to whoever is supposed to see them, whether it's the Attorney General, whether it's the OSP, whether it's Yoko, send it to them. Also, you're a very influential person in Ghana. You can call any of the people that you have this evidence to show them, and they'll tell you, yes, so, Mr. APLUS, Fabra, because you have that kind of clout. So rather than lament that ORA has collapsed, rather give us all vim and say, now that you even know that part of the present government is also engaged in looting, you are going to stop it. That's what we expect from you. Let's go back to where I mentioned earlier that somebody else has started this, and they seem to be coming from the same direction. That person also said that they have so much evidence about the people in government who have looted, and that when they produce the evidence in Parliament in May, then they won't have more to talk again, because there's all these allegations of corruption and looting on their part too. Listen to him.
When Parliament resumes in May, I'm not sure with the kind of facts we'll confront NDC with, they can ever use corruption against MPP. They cannot. In fact, very soon, they cannot talk about corruption because they will realize that they themselves.
Folks, did you hear that? We are waiting for mail. I wish I can tell my nephew, please don't wait for mail. Charlie, these things are heavy. The allegations of loot and corruption are heavy. I'm thinking it's so heavy that me, KSM, unfortunately, nobody is bringing me any evidence, so I don't have the evidence. But somebody like me, if I see the evidence now, I'll be on the phone call. I'll be on the telephone, calling Ayini, I'll be calling Remonacha, I'll be calling OSP. I have all their contacts. Charlie, this is what I've seen. I want you to come and I'm bringing it to you. Immediately. Why wait? APLUS say, one day he'll get angry and show us. Okay, yet they're not in change. AFENYO marking to saying, in May. I know we are in April, so May is not that far away. But I'm thinking, Ghanaians, we are also disgusted about this loot. Right now, they look like allegations because we have not so far trapped and jailed or imprisoned or whatever anyone yet. So it looks like allegations, whatever. But I'm thinking that this loot is so significant and so important to all of us as a people that when you have the evidence, you don't come and tell Ghanaians that when you get angry, you release the evidence, Pacho. Or you also come and say, well, we have it now, but we are waiting until May. Listen to him again.
When Parliament resumes in May, I'm not sure with the kind of facts we'll confront NDC with, they can ever use corruption against MPP. They cannot. In fact, very soon, they cannot talk about corruption because they will realize that they themselves.
So that's what he said. He says, May and Chebiel. I'm hoping, and my dear nephew, bring it out today. What is stopping you? You have the evidence, so that's what he said. Bring it out and challenge the JM. Say, JM, you said the knife will cut both ways. Now I brought you NDC people. Let's see what you do. The same thing I'm appealing to APLUS to do. You know, please, let's stop toying about and making everything political because of political reasons, because the government is involved, the aura has collapsed. Let's stay away from that. Let us insist that whatever happens, the loot will never collapse. And I'm really, really, really trusting and hoping that AFENYO marking 2, when Parliament opens, that's what he says he's waiting for. They will also pitch all the evidence they have about corrupt NDC officials now, so that action is taken. I can't wait. All that I'll say is this. Mr. AFENYO, I remember you made a point about some statement about some scandal brewing in the military service or something. This is what you said.
Mr. Speaker, as we speak, there is a scandal looming. Security services recruitment, TribeNet, we know who brought that company to the ministry. Kama has a way, and we, the minority, will pursue the person and make sure there's full disclosure. Mr. Speaker.
And everybody was sitting up waiting for whatever scandal it was you were talking about. But a few days or so later, you came out to retract the whole thing. And this is what you said.
If, Mr. Speaker, the text of my concerns reflected so, it is hereby accordingly withdrawn. And, Mr. Speaker, as colleagues, when a member feels strongly about a statement which is unintended, the right thing to do is to withdraw and apologize to him. Mr. Speaker, I proceed to do so, and to assure you that concerns that would arise out of any matter shall be properly be brought to his attention. But on this matter, as I've said before, I will repeat it for Hansa, that anything related to him or his ministry is withdrawn. And again, apologies to him.
So all I'm saying today is that I'm disappointed that we are waiting till May. I'm hoping that it can come out as ASAP. And I'm hoping that in May there will be no retraction and no apology. Because, folks, we have reached a very serious stage in this country. And the thing about this is this. Governance is going on. No. Governance is going on. Great things are happening. Today, as I speak, the president, Mr. Mahama, is supposed to be launching free primary health care. While all this is going on, about ORA has collapsed, while this is going on, that when we come in May, we are going to confront the NDC to the point that NDC cannot even talk about corruption anymore. There is so much evidence against NDC that in May, you'll be hit with this evidence. You can't even open your mouth and talk about corruption anymore.
When Parliament resumes in May, I'm not sure with the kind of facts we'll confront NDC with, they can ever use corruption against MPP. They cannot. In fact, very soon, they cannot talk about corruption because they will realize that they themselves.
Boy, I can't wait. So I'm saying while all this hullabaloo is going on, governance is still going on. That's why I say today the president is launching free primary health care to be the first in the history of health care in Ghana. And every time I say that, I only add that it is implemented with the seriousness and the transparency and everything to make sure it works. You and I as people standing by shouldn't just be standing by and say, oh, Mahama has launched the free health care. No, let us interrogate it. Let us make sure it works. Where it goes wrong, let us talk. Where it is right, let us talk. Let us make sure we push this. That's why I keep saying that once we see that we are in the right direction, all of us, let us throw in our hands to make sure that we push and push and push. Because free primary health care is something extremely significant for an alleged or so-called third world country like us. It's extremely significant. So folks, I'm saying this, what is going on? There's talk of the big push. And I keep saying that yes, one, there's transparency, one, there's effectiveness, one, there's implementation, strategic implementation, then that's great. But we have a habit of sloganeering. So we throw out the big slogans, and sometimes it just ends up as slogans and not something concrete. We went through that 8 years of the MPP. So many slogans. So many of them. I can't count them. But at the end of the day, we realized that they were all just slogans. That is why I'm saying this, that if NDC is starting and they seem to be making some important successes that we all know. Recently, I think it was the World Bank was praising Atufosin. That one I don't take it for anything because they praise, they cut down at will. But just to let you know that even they who have never been in our camp are sort of surprised at the element of progress that the nation is making. So I'm saying that if this element of progress is going on, why don't we back it? Why? And for me, the scariest moment in my life right now, as I stand here, is to believe and accept that Ora has collapsed. The day I believe and accept that Ora has collapsed, that day I'm probably on my way to the grave, because it shouldn't happen. It should never ever collapse. There's this saying by Shakespeare, maybe I'll corrupt it small. I'm paraphrasing it. I don't remember the exact words, but it's something like that there is a tide in the lives of men which, when taken on, leads on to fortunes. Basically, it means that there is a moment in history that when the people pay attention and stand on the right side of history and take advantage of the situation, it leads to fortunes. And I'm saying this because right now in Ghana, that tide has shown its head. That's why I'm begging the people that we should never forget. Because listen to this, folks. If people will hold on to this tide of recovering our loot and treating Ola with the urgency that needs to be treated, man, then never again. Something like the fiasco, the absolute uselessness, the complete wastage that came with the building of the cathedral, we seem to be forgetting. It doesn't even have that same impact that it used to have, and that is we the people and our memory. But I'm challenging all of us that if we engage our memory, that never again means don't forget. I just there are so many, but if I just want to pick the cathedral as an example of how, as a nation, we the people all sat aloof and allowed government to waste close to maybe 100 million of taxpayers' resources to put together a big hole. And it's not just the hole, and I say this all the time, the destruction ahead of the building of the big hole. That area had a passport office, that area had an office for the scholarship secretariat, that area had buildings of judges, that area had real estate development going on. As a matter of fact, there's a real estate agency that is even suing for judgment debt. So the whole and the money that was wasted that went to the hole itself was about $58 million. But if you include the wastage that happens with tearing houses down, pulling down significant development, if you put everything together, then we are going to almost around 100 billion. And I'm saying, we the people, we sat down and watched it happen. Because somebody in their private moment promised God.
I made a pledge to Almighty God that if He was gracious enough to grant my party, the New Patriotic Party and I, victory in the 2016 election, after 2 unsuccessful attempts, I would help build a cathedral to His glory and honor.
So we the people sat down and watched it happen. We sat down and watched it happen. That is the lesson that I want Ghanaians to understand. That please, my dear son APLUS, don't even add weight to the antium, to the sayings out there that ORA has collapsed.
ORA should just go and sleep somewhere. I don't want to talk about them. Everybody watching me, whether you're NDC or MPP, that's ORA makes sense. And me, if I have government property, ORA can never take it out. Apart from the fact that I know some of the people in ORA and their relatives who own government land, I have everybody's, look, I have land documents like this. When they say they're going to start from 2016, I say, you guys are jokers. One day when I get angry, I'll release everybody's land document. It includes people in this government. They know. And they know that way they are 10. So I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. No. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about ORA again. ORA is collapsed. We have collapsed it.
APLUS, you add a lot of weight to it. It hasn't collapsed. And you can make sure that it doesn't collapse. With everything that you have accomplished, this will be small fry to you. All the evidence, don't get angry. Produce this now. And my nephew, Mr. AFENYO, you too.
When Parliament resumes in May, I'm not sure with the kind of facts we'll confront NDC with, they can ever use corruption against MPP. They cannot. In fact, very soon, they cannot talk about corruption because they will realize that they themselves.
The tide has now risen that if we also have evidence that people are involved in this level of corruption, it is not a party issue. It is a national issue. I think what is sad for Ghana is that as a people, we don't even see the urgency that goes with corruption. We don't even call it corruption or a transaction. This was just a transactional cost. A transactional cost. This was just we have all sorts of great words other than the word corruption, and corruption, which means thievery. So that's where we are now, folks. When we look at other areas, and we'll be going to the cathedral is just a tip of the iceberg. When you look into areas where money went and was totally not accounted for, $12 million for the Pualugu Dam. I don't know how many millions of dollars for the SkyTrain. Millions! National Secretariat. This whole fraudulent behavior of ghost names. I'm saying because we don't hear anything about them anymore. So I am tasking the people who are directly in the middle of this talk. The level of rot in the system is beyond imagination. It was so bad that the president called the whole Ghana a crime scene.
One thing that is a cardinal principle for us is to tell the truth at all times. We all knew the economy was in crisis, but some of the things I'm discovering myself, it's been a criminal handling of our economy. And Ghana is a crime scene, actually, because how a government can have been so reckless, I cannot understand.
Almost all agencies and government were filled with rot, decadence, and corruption. You know, and referring to what Mr. AFENYO has said, that they have so much evidence about corruption of the current stock of NDC. I'm saying this. He has the evidence, and next month we are all going to see the evidence. I'm hoping to come up sooner. But May is just around the corner. But I'm saying this, Ghanaians, can you imagine if AFENYO is telling us today that the amounts of rot and loot that they have gathered, committed by the NDC, is so enormous that the NDC will have to shut up. They can't even talk about corruption anymore. Then can you imagine the levels? Even if the small one that we call a crime scene, that was conducted or perpetrated under the MPP beginning kekekra and we haven't seen top no. AFENYO King is saying no, you haven't seen anything yet. There's more. But this one is not coming from outside, though. It's coming from the alleged righteous NDC. And we are going to bring evidence for all of you to see. And that evidence will shut NDC up forever. I am eager to see this, folks. I'm eager to see this. And APLUS, yours too, I'm eager to see. Because I'll be the first person. And the same show here, with the right evidence, put it out to people. You know, because when we think about it, what was Mr. AFENYO King suggesting? That MPP has been accused of a crime scene, accused of corruption, and accused of looting. That is what is on the record now. He's saying, oh, I know crime, the evidence that we have, we're also going to prove the same thing, that the NDC is also committing a crime scene, and they are also looted and more corrupt. And when we show the evidence, they can't even talk again. So, folks, what does it mean to the people? To you and I, what does it mean? Does it mean that the NDC has come on with a crusade that we have experienced so much loot that we're going to do something about that? So the MPP is corrupt? And the MPP too saying that, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. We also have evidence, and we're going to put it out, that the NDC too is so corrupt. Me and you, what does that mean to us? So it's a battle of who's corrupt. Are we witnessing a battle of, you think I'm corrupt, look at this, or you think I'm correct, look at that? Is that what you and I are supposed to be experiencing? So that to advise us that the next time we go for election, who do we vote for? Are we voting for MPP that we say were corrupt and they had looted? Or we are now going to vote for NDC that MPP too has come to prove that they too are corrupt. So what are we doing in this country? But this shallow-minded, reckless politics. Well, maybe they have the evidence and the evidence will come. When the evidence comes, I'll accept that, wow, I am glad that you submitted the evidence. We have all seen the evidence. Now, Mr. President, what are we going to do about this glaring evidence? Because you promised that your sword will cut both ways.
No person found culpable will be spared. But let me say that the sword of accountability will cut both ways, against both past and the present government.
We are waiting for the evidence. But the little that we know that we have seen alone,
when Parliament resumes in May, I'm not sure with the kind of facts we'll confront NDC with, they can ever use corruption against MPP. They cannot. In fact, very soon, they cannot talk about corruption.
Folks, let me end the way I started. I started by saying, or by asking, has oral collapsed? And I've made it a point to all of us here that we may feel like it has collapsed, whatever it is. But we, the people, in whom all power resides, must decide that never will we allow looting to go unpunished, whether it's NDC, whether it's MPP, whether it's UP, whatever. Looting cannot go unpunished. So basically I'm saying that we the people should make sure that it never collapses. So if a process is a collapse, I'm saying no, we will not allow it to collapse. If AFENYO is saying that we have so much evidence that now even those who are promulgating this corruption will now stop talking, which eventually means the collapse of oral, it won't happen. Only in your dreams, folks. I come here every week and talk, but trust me, time will absolve me, and when time absolves me, I'll be here to remind you. Say, Charlie, the rot, the decadence will end because we, the people, will say never again. In the meantime, folks, let's keep the focus because until something happens, dear, so far so good, and Ghana will rise again.